All right, guys, so the purpose of these 4 webinars basically is to really outline, what V3 is, all the new features that we've been working on, kind of show it to you again, kind of train everybody on it, how to use it properly, just because it's grown so much. I know there's a lot of V3 users already that have it already on the call. I know there's some people that don't have it on the call. Actually, as a matter of fact, give me a 1 if you do have it. Give me a 2 if you don't have V3 yet, just so I know what kind of audience we're talking about, or 2 here. Okay. We will open it up again, guys. Right? It's been a closed software product for Todd and I. We've been developing it a lot, and we've been taking people in very, very slowly for a very, very important reason. And that's because we'll let in a bunch of people, start using it, get feedback. If we find any bugs, we work them out. We take their feature suggestions, we take all their input, and we develop it. And we've opened it up now one time very, very small, and then I think it was 2 more times a little bit bigger. So there's not a lot of users in V3 yet, just simply because of that. We really want to develop this the right way. In order to do that, we have to have users come in and start using it. But I personally feel like over these last few weeks that it's really come to a point where it's really stable, it's really solid. We've worked out a lot of kinks in it, especially in things like the schema editor. I know there's been a lot of confusion about that. So what these Webbies are going to do is they're going to break down different sections of Project Supremacy V3, and I'm going to go over each one of them in more detail. Now, why 4 webinars to showcase this product? Because when Todd and I originally showed off Project Supremacy, we did it on 1 webinar, and I had to speak a mile a minute to literally go through everything that V3 has in it. It's a really big software. I'm sure that a lot of existing V3 users probably don't even know about some of the features or a lot of the features that V3 has in it. So we want to make sure that we cover everything in a lot of detail, so we have to break the webinar down into chunks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull over this presentation and just kind of give you guys an idea of what you're going to see over the next 4 days. So this being webinar 1, it's today. We're going to go over things kind of in a logical fashion as if you were brand new to it, and what you should do and how you should use it, how to start adding sites and stuff like that. So Webby 1 is basically going to be WordPress and PBN management and security, okay? And these are going to cover the initial things that you guys should do as a new user to V3. So we're going to cover things like adding websites, how to use the dashboard, tagging and filtering, which is absolutely awesome, plugin and theme repositories, manage websites, yada yada. I won't read everyone, you can see them there, but this is the stuff we're going to cover today, guys. What I'm going to ask from you guys is kind of hold all your questions, okay, because I'm going to go through the presentation, and it's honestly not going to take me that long. They're going to be a little bit shorter webinars since we have 4 of them. So hold your questions. Every webinar, at the end, we will have a Q&A for the content that we cover on the webinar. So this is what's going to happen on Webby 1. We're going to cover WordPress, PBN management, and security. And then on webinar 2, we're going to cover the SEO aspect of Project Supremacy, so it would be SEO, project and management. That'll be stuff like how to set up, the SEO side, the on-page optimization side of Project Supremacy, including things like keyword research. We're going to dive heavily into the project planner just to show you guys that. It's been worked on tons and tons, and I've been using it in the last few days just to do some more keyword research and start creating new pages to target new content, and it's absolutely fantastic, guys. I was able to go and do keyword research, set up optimization for pages in literally 20 minutes. I actually have been posting little teaser videos in the Project Supremacy group as well, so hopefully you guys have seen those and you can see how powerful that is. Then in webinar number 3, guys, we're going to cover Schema. Okay, and our schema builder, that has probably been the thing that we've put most of our focus into. So we've really, really worked on that schema editor to make it more user-friendly. What our goal there is almost to get to the point where you can literally load the schema editor and know what to do. Okay, now one thing I want to say about schema when we get to this webinar is that I am not a schema pro, okay? I can't tell you what the best types of schema to use for certain situations are and stuff like that. We are talking to certain people who are really good and have a lot of experience in dealing with schema and what types of schema will get you what types of results. So we are hiring trainers to come on and train you what are the best types of schema to use. But what we're going to cover in that webinar in Webby 3 is basically how to use our schema builder, how to you know, build schema and inject that schema into your pages. And one thing I can tell you now, guys, is that the changes that the schema editor has went through have been so fantastic. I personally believe that we now have the absolute premier, the best schema builder on the market. I know there's one other really big one, but ours is just so much more intuitive. It's so much more user-friendly, and the speed of it now is just absolutely insane. So Webby 3 is going to be 100% focused on schema. And then Webby 4, I made it an optional Webby, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to do it. We're just going to go over just all the little additional features of Project Supremacy V3, and then we'll just do a general Q&A on that webinar. So that's the 4 webinars that we're going to go over, guys. Okay, and we're going to start way back up here today. So I'm just going to put this on my other screen so that I can follow along and make sure I'm showing you guys things in the right order. So without further ado, let's get started. So when you guys log into V3, okay, the first thing that you're going to see is a dashboard. Now, you're not going to have anything populated in the dashboard until you add some websites, okay? The way V3 works is we have a plugin, okay, that you can see right here, that you download this plugin and you upload that to your WordPress site, and what that's going to allow you to do is connect this central dashboard, okay, to all the sites that you install the plugin on. Okay, so this becomes a centralized WordPress manager, a dashboard. This is where you're able to do everything to manage all your sites and all your settings and stuff like that. So you'll no longer have to log in website to website to do anything. You can actually do everything from here. And just another note on this, guys, it's really cool. I've actually loaded this on my cell phone as well. I have an iPhone 7, the bigger screen one. And this thing displays and works really well on a cell phone. So I've been traveling or driving down to Calgary or whatever, like other cities, and I'm actually able to manage my WordPress blogs on my cell phone just as easily as sitting at my desktop. So it's just another really cool feature just that I wanted to note out. But so the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is because when you first log in and you don't have it, you need to install the Project Supremacy V3 plugin in order for things to start happening inside of your dashboard. So we're going to cover that first. Okay, so it's quite simple, guys. All you have to do is download the automatic installer. That's by far the simplest way to install the V3 plugin on your sites. Okay, so you just click download, go to WordPress, upload it like any other website or any other plugin. Now, the V3 installer, the automatic installer, the nice thing about that is that it actually, before it installs itself on your server or on your web host, it'll actually read your settings. It'll read your PHP settings, it'll read your communication settings, it'll read your OpenSSL certificate settings. It'll actually read everything that's on your site and attempt to understand whether you have a compatible host that's even good. If there's any issues with your hosting, it will tell you what's right or wrong with your settings. Okay, there's a check mark, I think, of about 8 or 9 things that the auto installer will check on your hosting environment before it can actually install itself. So that's a huge update for everyone. You'll know right away whether you can install V3 and it'll work properly or not just from the auto installer. So that's method 1, is downloading the auto installer and running it. The next method kind of relates back to the first method. One common thing that we see quite a bit is when people use the installer, once in a while the error will come up that the plugin cannot communicate with the dashboard. Okay, and the dashboard's what you're seeing with. Typically, what's happening there is you have a security plugin on your website, something like WordFence. And WordFence will block outside communication into your blog. But what we've done is we've built in a bypass for that. So I want to actually show you that. Okay, so I'm going to go actually log into another site that has this plugin, and I want to show you the settings on how to get around that. So the first thing is, instead of what will happen is you'll tap the auto installer, it'll say communications not possible. Okay, then the next thing you have to do is you can actually bypass the auto installer and go for the actual plugin. So you can see we have two different types. One is going to be if you have a PHP version on your host of less than 5.3, a minimum of 5.3, which is kind of older PHP. But if you guys are more up to date and your hosting is more up to date, a minimum of 5.6 would be this version. So all you have to do is click on whatever version is suitable for your hosting environment, download that plugin, upload it to Project Supremacy. It won't read your server environment. It's not the auto installer. It'll actually just install the plugin and you can activate it. Okay. Then if you activate the plugin to bypass the communication issues, so that the dashboard can read everything on your site and make sure it's communicating, all you're going to have to do, okay, is once you activate the plugin, you'll put in your email address and your license key, which in your dashboard can be found right here where it says, let me cancel this, where it says my license. I won't click it because mine will show, but when you click my license, your email and license key will show up. So then you enter your email and your license key here and you activate the plugin. Okay, your communication will still be failing because of WordFence, but all you need to do to bypass it in that scenario, okay, is right here on alternate limits. Sorry about that. Okay, right here, guys. This use the alternative API endpoint under troubleshooting. You would just set this to yes, okay, and that'll just create a file on your server that will allow you to still have your WordPress security plugins activated and you don't have to make any changes, but it'll allow Project Supremacy to communicate. Okay, so you just have to click on the button, turn that to yes, and now you'll have the plugin installed, you'll have it activated, and it will be able to communicate with the dashboard. So method one, once again, automatic installer. Method two, you know what your minimum PHP version is. You just download the plugin and update and install it. Okay. We also have a third method for uploading plugins for people that want to upload a lot of sites, okay? And that's this one, add a website, okay? So you can add a single site just by putting in your WordPress domain information. So you would put in either your HTTP or HTTPS, whatever your domain is, and then your login path to your WordPress site. Now, some people change this with plugins. They'll change WP login to something else, okay? So all you'd have to do is supply your WordPress username, your WordPress password, and then click add now, and it'll add the plugin that way. But we also have, finally, the CSV file, okay? Now, the CSV file is really nice for people that have a lot of sites and you don't want to do things one at a time. Say you had 50 PBNs or 20 money sites or whatever, and you just want to add the plugin to all those sites with one click. What you can do is actually get a CSV file that follows this format. So the URL to your login, comma, your username, comma, your password, and then a new line for every other site that you want to add. So create a CSV file, choose that file and upload it here. What that will do is install the auto installer from that CSV file to all of your sites all at once, okay? So that'll allow you guys to add multiple sites to Project Supremacy v3 all at once really, really fast. Now, once you guys have added all your sites, okay, you'll start seeing things happening in your dashboard, okay? So what I'm going to cover now is the dashboard, and obviously I have a bunch of sites, so you're seeing things happening. Now, what the dashboard is kind of an overview of all your WordPress sites, all your PBNs, all your money sites, all your client sites if you're running with clients, stuff like that. It'll just give you updates and stuff about what's going on. So for now, for instance, I have updates that are available to me. So I have 3 WordPress core updates that I can have. I have 3 plugin updates, and I have 11 themes that all need updating. Now, a big note on security, guys, a huge, huge note on security. If you're managing a lot of WordPress sites, okay, it's typically been tough to keep plugins, themes, and your core up to date. But it's a huge, huge security issue if you're not keeping things up to date, because you know, hackers and those types are constantly scanning these plugins and WordPress things for backdoors that they can get into. And if you're not keeping your plugins up to date, that's how you're going to become vulnerable. So you need to keep things on your network of sites up to date all the time. And this is going to allow you to do it really quickly, whether it be from logging in on a computer or even, like I said, I do this on my cell phone. Okay, so when I see stuff is available for update, I can actually choose either single sites that I want to update, or I can just update everything with one button, or update just like, okay, here's the 3 cores that I want to update. I'll just click the update button and it'll start updating. Plugins, the kind of nice thing about plugins is it'll show you, if you scroll on these, it'll show you what plugin is available for an update on which sites, but you can also switch that view. Okay, if I click this button and change to sorting, now it'll show me, okay, what are your sites and what are the plugins. Okay, so it's just another cool little view. So we're just going to update everything. Okay, so there we go. We send everything in for update. Now, it goes into a queue, guys. We have a lot of people running a lot of sites on this. Todd and I posted a picture. I was down in Dallas a little while ago, visiting the actual data center that Project Supremacy runs on, and we have it built load balanced across 6 massive Dell servers. Okay, that's how everything's really, really fast. But in order to keep it fast for everyone, we put things into a queue so that we can load balance properly, so that not everybody's doing everything at the same time starts causing crashes. So I already did it, but you saw the little message at the bottom. It pops up that says, okay, your updates have gone into a queue. It doesn't take long to do these things. Okay, it typically happens really, really quickly, within a minute or 2 minutes or so. But once you click update, it's done. And then if there's any issues, okay, if things happen successfully, these will just disappear, and you'll see that you no longer have updates. However, if something goes wrong for any reason, you'll get a notification up here, okay? Couldn't update this or couldn't update that. It'll tell you what website that happened on, so that you can literally just go check on that website and update it. Now, the reason why certain things won't update, from my experience, is, for instance, things like Thrive themes or purchase plugins or themes, purchase things, typically have their own update service. It doesn't exist on the WordPress codex, so you do have to manually log in and go update in those scenarios. Otherwise, if it's on the WordPress codex, no problem, it'll always be updated, but you'll always be able to know what's happening because your notifications will tell you. And the other thing is, we can see the updates log right here. Okay, you can always click on this and it'll tell you what's going on with the updates that are happening. So for instance, there you go. Website can't be reached, make sure that it's still installed. So we're seeing different things. It's telling you whether it's queued, it's pending, it's successful. If it's failing, it'll tell you why, so that you're always able to update things. So that's themes, plugins, and core. Okay. The next thing, guys, that is a big issue for WordPress is comments and spam. Now, if you guys run any sort of PBN or even money sites, you'll always see that if you don't turn comments off, you'll get a lot of this shit. It's just the way it is. It happens all the time. You can see, like, my site, Magnus, for instance, .com, already has 174 spam comments on it. Now, I can go log into WordPress and start deleting these one by one. You can see it's all crap. Or I can come in here and just click delete. Okay? And that takes care of my 174 spam comments with one click. Really, really fast. So the difference between optimization comments and sorry, this box and this box, the comments box and the optimization box. Optimization is for spam comments only and post revisions. Okay, it'll show you what comments that WordPress has filtered out by spam. Typically, you're going to delete these 100% of the time. Okay, because it's just spam. Post revisions, guys, are when you edit a post and it saves a copy. Okay. Those are called post revisions. They do build up over time and they do take up space on your server and on your hosting account. It's not a huge deal, but if you want to get rid of post revisions, if you have the most up-to-date post and you're happy with it and you're really anal about being clean on your WordPress blogs, it'll show you all the sites that have post revisions. Okay, you can see them here. And then you can just delete post revisions and that'll just keep the most recent post on your blog. Now, the comments log is a little bit different than the spam log. What these are, guys, are pending comments, meaning comments that weren't approved or they weren't automatically filtered as spam. So there's always going to be a lot of pending comments. Okay, so for instance, if I open up like chord progressions, I can look at the comments and decide what I want to do. I can decide whether it's spam or whether I want to keep it. Okay, so you can see right now, because I'm running a PBN, you can see it's a lot of crap. Typically, I'm mostly deleting a lot of this, especially if it's a PBN. Once again, very simple to do. Click delete, and that takes care of all those comments. So I can just delete, 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 delete. And we'll probably add a delete all button. The only reason we haven't added a delete all button is because these are pending comments. Some people actually leave real comments on your blog, so you would want to go through and look at if they're real or not. If they're not real, you can delete all by site just by using that delete button. Okay. So that's kind of the dashboard, guys. The reviews I'm going to skip for now, but what reviews are, we'll cover that more in webinar 3 when we go over schema. I'll just basically tell you what it is right now. If you have Project Supremacy v3 and review schema set up on your site, so for instance, I'll go over to this one and I'll quickly show it. Okay. You can collect comment reviews on any of your sites with Project Supremacy v3. So for instance, this one, review this content. Nope, that video keeps popping on. This review box, what we've done with reviews now is we put reviews into a comment moderation as well. Okay, so if you guys set this up, and I'll show you all that in detail in webinar 3, how to put the box up and how to display your reviews and stuff like that. But if you do it and reviews start coming in, this is your Project Supremacy schema reviews moderation. It'll show you them coming in, and you can edit reviews, okay, or you can approve them or delete them here. So I won't cover that yet. We'll cover that on webinar 3. And then our shoutouts log, guys, is just, you know, if we make any big updates or anything, like I posted this one on October 17th. It's just us talking to you guys, notes about what's happening with Project Supremacy. So this dashboard, guys, is an overall view of your entire network of sites and a really, really easy way to keep your plugins, cores, and themes up to date, which keeps your blog secure, okay, from hacking and stuff like that. And then the optimization, comments, and reviews moderation are just kind of showing you guys, here's the comments and stuff that are coming in on your blog. Those are going to help you keep your site clean. So you want your sites, your network of sites, not just a single site, but every site you got. You want them secure and you want them clean. Okay, and by clean I mean you're not using up a lot of extra space on your hosting accounts, because some hosting accounts are small, they don't want a lot of space, and these things can start to pile up over time, but they're a pain in the ass to deal with on a single site-by-site basis, but it's very, very quick and easy to do it from the dashboard. So now the next thing I want to cover, guys, is tagging. Okay, so once you add a lot of websites, okay, you install the plugin, you go through, you make sure your network is nice and up to date, you make sure it's clean, okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is start organizing your sites, okay, because you're going to have PBN sites, you're going to have money sites, you're going to have client sites, you're going to have all, just whatever you want, you're going to have all different types of sites, and you're going to want to tag them. Okay, now the way I do it, guys, and you can see all these sites right here have slideys, little orange, blue, and green sliders. These are tags so that I can tag my sites by what they are. So all you got to do to tag a site, when you first load a site, when the site first comes in here, you won't see any of these tags. You'll just see this manage tag feature. So what you're going to do is click on it, and you can start building your tags. And I'll just tell you the way I do it for now. You guys can do it your own way. But all you're going to do is create a tag. Okay, you're just going to sit there or click create tag, and you'll name the tag. You can assign a color to it, and then you can give it a URL. What the URL will do is make the tag clickable to whatever URL you supply. So the first thing I do, guys, is I have 3 tags that I apply to every site. Okay, so I have 3 color groups. Obviously, I have orange, blue, and green, and you can easily see what my orange ones are. That's the type of site. You can choose any color, by the way. It doesn't have to be orange. This is just how I do things. My orange tag is the type of site. Is it an AdSense site, an affiliate site, a client site, lead gen, PBN, a personal site, a SERP tech site, or a Project Supremacy site? Orange tags are always the type of site. Blue tags are where that site is hosted. Okay, and I also include the link to the login, okay, of that particular host, right to the login page. Okay. The green sites are where that particular domain is registered. Okay, so when I create all these sites, once let me just delete these so I have IP networks in Phoenix, okay, and PBN. So for this site, this is what it would look like after I created my sites. I would take the PBN tag, drag it, I would take the host, drag it, and I would take the registrar of the domain and drag it over, and then I would click save. Okay, and that creates these tags. Now for every site, I can click on the sliders, and I know that this is a PBN at IP Networks, and it's hosted or registered at phoenix.com. Now, why do I tag sites like that? Because problems happen. I'm setting up to deal with problems. So let's say, for instance, you know, I got a notification that one of my sites was down. Okay, and let's say it was PSB Net Bank. Let's say I got a notification up here that my site was down. I also would get notifications by email, by the way, and I can show you those in a bit. If I got a notification that my site was down, what I could do is come over to that site, okay, and I could actually search for it. I'll just type in PSB. I'm not even going to hit enter. Okay, it actually auto loads from a search. Okay, it loads that one site. Now I just click on my tags and I know, okay, this is a PBN hosted at Position 1 Marketing. That's my server, and it's on name.com. So if it was down, that's actually a bad example. Let's use another one just because I don't want to go to my server. Let's just, there we go, Lollipop. Okay, so LOLLI. Okay, so now it's going to load up Lollipop Luskill. If the problem, first I would check my hosting if the site was down. Okay, what's going on at the host? I can literally, because I supplied a URL for the tag, I click it, it takes me right to the login screen of the host for that site. Now I can log in and see what's going on at that site. Is everything okay? Yeah, it is. Okay, great. It's not a hosting problem. Next, I would go to the registrar. Okay, I'll click it. It takes me right to the login screen of the registrar. I can log in there. Oh, maybe my name servers have changed and I didn't get a notification from my registrar. And that situation actually just happened to me, guys. Got a notification that one of my sites was down. Logged in, checked the hosting, everything was fine. Logged into the registrar, saw that there was a change in the registrar settings, but the registrar either sent me an email and I didn't get it, or they didn't send an email. But my site was down and I didn't know it was down. Other than having V3, I didn't know the site was down. I was able to quickly log in, access my registrar, go in, I saw the problem, I fixed it, and that was because of V3, where really it was the registrar's responsibility to send me that information, but for whatever reason, I didn't get it, okay? But I did get it through V3. So that's one of the reasons I tag my sites, guys, is so that I tag my site by the type, the host, and the registrar so that I can know what's going on. Now you can add tags for all kinds of situations. So for instance, you can see I have another one. I want to cancel the hosting on certain sites. So I'll create that tag. Or this site got hacked, or I want to move hosting, I'll create those tags. Or what is my Spider Spanker parent site? Now Spider Spanker is Todd's plugin for protecting PBNs, and it has share settings. Okay, so I create a master list of all my sites with Spider Spanker on them, and then I only have to log into that one site if I need to make any changes, and then I can share those settings out to all my other sites. So I tag that site with a Spider Spanker parent. So I'm just showing you guys that there's all kinds of scenarios that you can create tags for. Okay, so once you create the tags, this is where you get into tag filtering now. So you can start filtering things by tag. So for instance, let's say I wanted to see who are the sites that I wanted to cancel hosting with. I can't remember. So I'm going to click on cancel hosting, and it'll bring up that site. And you can see there's the purple tag. So I want to do a cancel hosting on Annie Awards. It's a reminder to me to cancel that hosting and to move it to somewhere else. I think I've already done it because I'm now on Easy Blog Networks. So now I can remove that tag if I want, right? So I can go to Manage Tags, and I can take away the cancel hosting because it's already been done, and click Save. Okay. Let's go back. Let's clear the tags again. Okay, so now let's say right now, guys, I have 179 sites in my network. Maybe I need to know how many sites do I have on a PBN? How many PBNs do I have? I can go to tags and click on PBN. Okay, and that will filter all the sites down to my PBNs. And you can see now that 114 of those sites are my PBNs. So tagging is a quick way to start giving you guys information about your network as well, but it goes a lot further than that with filtering, and I'll show you that. Okay. Let me see if there's any other notes I want. There are a couple static tags, meaning those tags are going to exist for everyone. You don't have to create them. They're always going to be there. Now, those are not tagged. So if, for instance, you guys upload a lot of sites with CSVs and you start adding tags, it starts getting, there's a lot of sites. You can see that. Sometimes you'll be like, which sites did I not tag? you can click the not tagged filter, okay, and that'll bring up a site that's not tagged. Oh, I forgot to tag Nashville SEO Pro. Okay, well, that's going to be a lead gen site. I don't know where it's hosted. I don't know where it's registered. I'd have to look that up to tag that, but at least I know now that it's tagged by the type. The next type of tag, guys, that we have is the not indexed tag. Okay, and what that means is not indexed in Google. So it fell out of indexation, so I can tag by those and go see what's wrong with them. Okay. And then the next type of tag is deactivated, meaning Project Supremacy for some reason is no longer communicating. I can tag by deactivated and start going through that troubleshooting process and say, okay, why is it not communicating? Okay, so I could go log into the site, find out what's going on, see if there's a hosting issue, see if there's a registrar issue, maybe there's just a plugin issue, maybe I forgot to activate it, whatever. It's just a quick way to filter out sites and be able to troubleshoot your problems. So those three tags are static. They're always going to be there. Another thing that I want to talk about with tags, okay, is our advanced. This is a new feature. This is called our and/or filtering. So how this works is, let's say I wanted to look at my PBN. Okay, I'm going to tag all my PBN sites, and I want to see everything that's hosted on Easy Blog Networks. Okay, what this and/or feature is going to do is say you have right now it's on and, meaning it has to be a PBN and it has to be hosted on Easy Blog Networks, right? It has to meet both criteria. And that even goes 3 levels or 4 levels deep. If I added a third tag, like say Phoenix, okay, so all my PBNs hosted on Easy Blog Networks and registered at Phoenix, I can add a third tag, and now it has to meet all those requirements. So I have 11 sites that are in that scenario. What the or feature, if I switch this over to or, it means it has to meet any of those criteria. It either has to be a PBN, or it has to be hosted on Easy Blog Networks, or it has to be registered with Phoenix. So that's what or is. So that creates just more options for you guys to be able to filter out sites quick. And I'm going to show you guys why these tagging and filtering are what you could do with them as far as managing themes and plugins next. I'm just making sure that you guys understand these the tag filtering, okay? And that's what tag filtering is for. Let me clear those. So before I go into why that tag, so that's tag filtering, guys. Now, before I go into why how you can bulk manage, I have to skip over to the plugin and theme repository. So that's over here in settings, okay? And this becomes pretty important. Now, if you click on this one right here, my plugins and themes, you can see a window for plugins and a window for themes, or a modal for plugins and modal for themes. What this area is, guys, is a place for you to store your favorite plugins and your favorite themes that you use all the time, so that when you're launching new blogs, or you're adding plugins, or you're adding themes, that you can do it really, really quickly. You can store them here, okay? So you can upload plugins and you can upload themes by just clicking on the upload. You'll have to download it first, or you can search you can search the WordPress repository too for plugins and add them into here so that you can quick deploy them onto sites. So this, just quickly, it'll tell you what the plugin is. It'll give you a little download button if you want to download it to your computer. It'll tell you information, what the slug is. You can add a note for it as well. And where notes become kind of handy, let me just open this up, is, for instance, Spider Spanker Nuke has the same slug and name, but there's 2 different versions of it. There's a PHP 5 version and there's a PHP 7 version. So I just added my own note. Even though it's the exact same plugin with name and title and slug, I wasn't able to tell the difference until I added the note. So now you can add notes as well to your plugins just for your own personal use. And it's the same with themes. You can upload themes, like for me it would be Aveda and Thrive and Divi are the 3 themes that I use the most on sites. If I just wanted to always have those in my repository so I could quick launch them, this is where I put it. Now, why is this important? Why do we put plugins and stuff like that here? Now, this relates back to our tagging and filtering. You guys all know I love Spider Spanker. I use it on every site. So let's say I was launching, 10 new PBNs next week, and I have a certain set of plugins that I want to upload to my PBNs. here's what we do. Because I've tagged everything appropriately, here's what I would do. I want to work on my PBNs, okay? I want to work on IP networks, okay? It has to be a PBN hosted with IP networks because I know IP networks, some plugins, you have to have certain plugins or you have to have certain requirements to work with IP networks, okay? So I'm going to work on PBNs at IP networks only, and we can see we have 56 of those sites. Now what I'm going to do, guys, is click on the switch view, okay? And what that's going to do is take me to a new window, okay? There's all the sites that are PBNs hosted on IP networks. So what I can do is switch this to show 100 instead of just 56, because that's the amount. You can see showing 56 sites, and there they are. Now I can organize these alphabetically, and it shows me each site, how many plugins, how many themes, if there's comments or if there's reviews and stuff like that. It shows me the indexation status. I can log in to WordPress. I can direct log in to the website, all that cool stuff, okay? But where it gets really, really cool is once I've loaded all these sites, they're all filtered out. This little green checkbox, when I check it, it's going to bring those sites over to the right side here. Okay, so it says, you can see the list of sites there. These sites are now queued to be bulk managed, 56 sites. Okay, and they're all PBNs hosted on IP networks. Now I can click on plugins, and what it's showing me is all the plugins that are installed on all of these sites. So for instance, I have 10 sites that have AdSense privacy policy. If I want to see what sites have them, I just click that little down arrow and it shows me all these sites. Notice these 9 are all activated, but this one isn't. If I wanted to activate it, I could check it and click activate. Okay, so it shows me that for everything. Like for instance, here's Akismet anti-spam, but it's not activated on a lot of the sites. So if I wanted to, I could just check all these and click activate. That would activate that plugin on all those sites, right? But now if, let's say I wanted to, rather than manage the plugins that I do have, I wanted to upload a certain set of plugins, okay? I could do that right here. On the bottom of the list, I could go to upload plugins. Now, I can either choose a plugin from the WordPress repository, or I can go to my plugins, and these are the ones that are in the repository that I showed you just before that. So I can say, listen, I put Spider Spanker on all my blogs. I know it's the PHP 7 version because it's IP networks, okay? But I also want to add AMP Supremacy because it's a PBN, and I want to have, you know, the AMP or whatever. And I also like putting Stack Counter on my shit, okay? I can upload those 3 plugins. I'm not going to do it because this is already set up, but all I'd have to do is click Add to Queue. And what would happen is those 3 plugins would be uploaded to all 56 blogs all at once. Okay, that's how we're able to manage effectively and efficiently, right? You can also do it with themes, guys. Okay, right now, so the first thing you do is create tags, the type, the host, the registrar, stuff like that. You put all the plugins that you like in your repository. Now you're in a position to be able to manage your sites really, really efficiently. You can also do it with themes. You can see we have the things that we can manage in bulk are the themes, the plugins, and the tags that we're using. Okay, so like let's say I have a certain theme that I want to upload to all my PBNs, which to be honest I would never do. I always choose a random theme. But if I did, let's say I was filtering a different way. Let's just look at this a different way. Okay, let's go back to our site. This thing. Let's say I'm working on money sites. Remember, for money sites, guys, I love Aveda, especially Supremacy sites. I always use Aveda. I use Thrive themes a lot. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna look at my affiliate sites. Okay, and now I want to go upload a certain host or a certain theme for all my affiliate sites because I just love it. So all I have to do is filter out those sites. So there they are. I have 10 sites. Okay, I'm going to click all of them because I want to work on all 10. If I only wanted to work on certain ones, I could just check them. All right, and then I'm going to go and activate different themes on them. Right, out of the themes that I like. So upload themes. So this would go to, I can either search WordPress once again, or I could go to my theme repository and upload, say, Thrive themes on all of these sites. Does that make sense to everybody? Are you guys understanding? This is just bulk management using tags as a way to filter your sites. so that you can do things quickly and efficiently instead of logging into your sites one by one by one and uploading and activating. The other thing, guys, is the nice thing about this is when you guys upload your sites and activate new themes and shit like that, it does it for you. It activates everything for you. Okay, so that's the Switch View Manager, guys. Allows you to bulk manage themes, plugins, and tags for your entire network of sites. Okay. So let's go back to websites. The next thing is the single site manager. Okay, so let me just see. I'm going to cover all these little things right now. So on all, you see a lot of sliders, okay, going on here. Let me cover what those are. Obviously, we've already covered tags. Okay, the colored ones don't show up until you create a tag, and tagging is for filtering. Over here, manage website, we're going to go over that in detail next after I talk about what all these sliders do. But what this will do is allow you to access the management capabilities for this site alone. Okay, so I'll show you that in a second. The WordPress slider, it's a direct login to your WordPress site. So I know my VA who works on my PBN loves this because you don't have to remember passwords and stuff like that anymore. You should always keep your passwords in a file so that you do remember them. But once they're stored and they're safe, it's nice to log in. And what he does, actually, I'll show you that later. He only sees my PBNs. He has a sub account. I'll cover that in a bit. But he only sees my PBNs. But what he can do is come in and just search for the PBN he wants to work on. Okay, I'll just type in PSv, and then he'll just click direct admin login. And that will open that WordPress in a new tab and log him straight in. So it's just really, really nice and quick for him to be able to come and log into that site. So that's what that slider does. Let me tag something so I can show you a second one. We're going to tag affiliate sites here. Okay. The next one right here is you can see the orange slider. This is a cPanel now, direct access login. You do have to supply your cPanel details in order for that one to work, and that is optional. You can choose whether you want to or not. Okay, I just like it because I do typically do a lot of work in cPanel for certain things. So I'll add the cPanel login. I'll show you where to do that in a second. The next sliders, okay, are going to be page speed performance. So that'll show you how well your site is doing. It would be the same thing as going to Google and typing in page speed analytics, right? And it gives you that page speed thing. But in order for it to work in here, you do have to supply your Google API key. That's another optional feature that you guys have. And in order to supply your API key, you would go into settings, okay? And you would click on this tab, API keys. Now I can't load this for you guys because it has all my API keys on it, and I don't want to share those live on a webinar. But anything that requires an API to work will be loaded, will be in API keys. So let me go back to websites. So that'll give you your speed performance, your performance and stuff like that on Google. This one's going to be an uptime monitor. Okay, it's going to show you, if you click on it, it'll show you the last 6 days of monitoring your website. Is it live on the network, on the internet? Meaning, does it have a 400 OK status, right? Is 400, oh yeah, no, sorry, 200, obviously, it's just short right in front of my face. 200 means okay, obviously. If there's an error on your site, this will turn red and tell you that your site's down. You'll get a notification. You'll also get a notification by email if you choose. I should show you guys the emails. They're actually pretty awesome. So I'll load that up over there. So that's your uptime monitor, guys. You'll always get notifications when your sites go down for whatever reason, and it's super, super handy to have. So let me actually just show you guys an email with an uptime monitoring in it. One second. Okay, here's one. I'm going to pull a new screen in. Okay. So I got this notification at 12:35 p.m. 256B is offline. So this email comes from Project Supremacy. The nice thing about this email, guys, it has your tags in the email. It's telling you you're receiving this email because you selected to receive notifications via email. Here's the information you need. 256B is offline. Please log in to find out what's going on. Here's a clickable link to the host. Here's a clickable link to the registrar, and then it's a PBN. I also have a direct link to the website. I also have a direct link to V3 Dashboard. So I get these emails as well. And these emails, it's fast. If I get a notification like this, I'm like, okay, boom, go to the website, go to Easy Blogging Networks, go to name, boom, 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 boom. I fix things really, really fast, okay? So it's nice to have notifications. The next slider, guys, is the indexation check, okay? Is your site indexed in Google? You'll get a green if it's indexed, you'll get a red if it is not, okay? These run, I believe, every 24 hours. This slider is also clickable. It will actually take you to a site check for that particular site and show you whether it's indexed or not. Okay, so it's just a lot of information about your site. This refresh screenshot is if you want, you can see some of them have the image of the site and some of them are grayed out. The grayed out ones are grayed out because I have Spider Spanker and I don't want people seeing the site, so it's kind of reflecting that. But say for instance, you know, there was another site like that and it was showing you a wrong, you know, kind of display. You could just click this and it'll refresh your screenshot of your site. It's just a minor thing, but it's pretty cool. Also, this links straight to your site. Okay, if I click on PSv3 this site, it'll take me to the .com version of the site. So now let's go into the management of the website, the single website. Okay, so all I had to do, let me just show that again so I can describe it, is this first slider, it's manage website. So I'm going to click on that, okay, and this is the management dashboard for this specific website, PSv NetBank, okay. So right away you're going to still have your direct admin login button, which is going to be able to get you into your WordPress. We have a synchronize button. So remember that things in Project Supremacy happen on queues. In order for us to keep this balanced for everybody, we have to run things on queues. The synchronize function, however, will update everything manually right now. Okay, so like for instance, if everybody came at the same time that owned Project Supremacy and clicked synchronize, that wouldn't be good, but the chances of that happening are really, really low. And certain things in projects, it is developed extremely smart. Certain things synchronize at certain times as well, and certain things synchronize right away. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit. But synchronizing, basically, if you click that, okay, it just refreshes everything so that the app, okay, the dashboard will go to your plugin, read everything that's happening with your WordPress, and just update everything right away. Okay, so that's what that does. This is just all information about your site. So when you added it to Project Supremacy, when the next synchronization is scheduled for, because it happens automatically, what your IP is, what your site name is, and what your tagline is, as well as your tags, of course. Okay, we're always going to show you your tags in as many spots as we can. Your website settings, guys, if you want the cPanel slider, now this is back to that cPanel slider, if you want direct cPanel access on your website view, this is where you would supply your cPanel URL, username and password, and then save it. Once you save it, your cPanel slider shows up, which is really, really cool. The other settings that we have is toggling ReCaptcha. You do have to have a Google API key for ReCaptcha. What this will do is take all the forms and anything that's submittable on your website and add a ReCaptcha to it. That's going to help you with security on your sites and help you manage spam. So if you have, like, I should be doing this on a lot of my sites that are getting, you know, thousands of spam comments, like Hurt Magnus, I should definitely be putting a ReCaptcha on it so that my forms, it stops bots from automatically sniffing out your forms and just submitting. All you have to do is click this button. Once you enter your ReCaptcha key, which is free to get, and the instructions are on the API side of the app, you turn this on and it just creates a ReCaptcha for all your forms. Show, hide, and deactivate plugin. Hiding the plugin, once again, will hide the installation on the WordPress side. So if I direct admin log into PSv NetBank, okay, you can see that the plugin's there. You can see V3, right, and all the options for V3. If I wanted to hide that, I would just click Hide Plugin. Okay, now I'll just refresh this. Okay, and now you can see V3 has disappeared. Useful for clients, guys. You don't want clients knowing what you're doing. You don't want clients playing around in V3 and messing stuff up that you work for. Hiding the plugin from them is a really, really great option so that they don't know what you're doing as far as SEO on your site. You don't want your clients to know what's going on. Not because you're doing shitty stuff, you just don't want to give away your secret sauce, right? You don't want to show them what plugin you're using and getting all these magical results for things like building schemas, getting star reviews, stuff like that. You're just hiding it from them. Okay, and then when you want to show it to go work again, say you need to go do work, you can actually do all the work in here, but if you want it to go to the website, just click Show Plugin again, press Control F5, just refreshes it, and now V3 is back. Okay. Deactivating the plugin will remotely deactivate the plugin from a site. It says, so everything in V3 that you guys do when you start building like schemas and you start building SEO like titles and descriptions, you start doing keyword research projects, and we'll go over all that in webinar 2. It's actually all that information isn't stored in the plugin, it's stored in a database. Okay, so you can actually deactivate the plugin remotely. So say from a client, we talked about this in V2 a lot, where if a client wasn't paying you or you were having issues with a client for whatever reason, you can actually deactivate the plugin and it'll sever the connection from the plugin to the database so that the site is actually no longer having its titles and its schema and stuff like that supplied by the plugin, because the plugin connection is now off. All the stuff is in the database, right? So you can actually deactivate it doing that and reactivate it from this button. We also have a safe remove if you ever need to reinstall the plugin for whatever reason. We built this because when we were in the early stages of V3, we actually had to manually update the plugin. Now it auto updates itself. If you guys install V3 on WordPress, when we release an update, it updates for you. You don't have to update it. It does it for you. But older versions, you kind of had to go in and remove things and put it back. So we built this. That's a safe remove of the plugin. And then a wipe everything would be a permanent delete of the plugin and the database. That's a non-recoverable, clean wipe of all the work that you've done. So just use that with caution. All right, so that's what that box does. This box, pretty simple, guys. Themes, these are all the WordPress themes that are installed on this particular site. Okay, you can activate new themes or delete themes that you're not using. Plugins, same thing. Here's all the plugins. If I have an update, I can just click update. It'll update for me. You can activate, deactivate plugin. Posts and pages, guys, that's going to show you all the posts and pages on your site. You can actually edit stuff for your posts and pages. If you wanted to come in quickly and do an edit of one of your posts or pages, you could. You could load the post and page in here and make some edits and save it right from within the dashboard. Really, really nice. You can also filter by posts and pages, because we have two types of things on a WordPress site, right? Quick way for you guys to do that. Okay. You can also, if Project Supremacy SEO, like if you're using Project Supremacy for your titles and your descriptions and stuff like that, you have to turn that on. Otherwise, you can. We have it on. We have the ability for your SEO elements to be on or off, because some people do prefer to use other SEO plugins. If I can't for the life of me figure out why they'd want to do that when Project Supremacy is so cool, but it's up to you. So say you prefer Yoast or whatever, you can turn off SEO, but you can also toggle turning that on or off for every post, on a post and a page basis level or site-wide. Reviews is basically the same thing as what I showed you on the dashboard. Those are schema reviews that are coming in. Okay, for, let me actually switch sites. Let me go to how do I Bitcoin. Okay, how to make. Let's go work in this one. Okay, there we go. There's all the reviews that are coming in for that site. So once again, I can delete reviews and just see what's going on with reviews. Schemas, we're going to get into schema. Excuse me. We're going to get into schema on webinar 3. But I'll just tell you guys basically what this is. Our schema with V3, you build schema first, then you assign schema second. This is where you come to assign schema to how to make money with Bitcoin. Okay, you can assign schemas to the home page. You can make default schema by forcing the home page schema to every page on your site, or you can be more safe and work on a page-by-page basis by clicking on per page schema, selecting the page that you want to look at, and then applying the schema to that particular page. We're going to cover schema in a high-level detail in webinar 3. And then settings, guys. This is your WordPress settings. Everybody's seen this, okay? In WordPress. So like for instance, if I go to WordPress settings, you'll notice quite a bit of similarities, right? There they are. Okay, so it's everything that you can do in WordPress, you can do in V3, but you only have to log into one spot, and you can manage everything in singular or in bulk. Okay. Now, that's it for that. Guys, and I see you guys asking questions. Todd's answering some of them. I will take questions after. We're almost done. Let me show you guys where we're at. we're right here. And I already covered email notifications, which is kind of cool. So I only have 2 things left to show you, and then we can go into questions for today's webinar. Backups. Okay, part of the security thing, guys. PBNs, money sites, WordPress in general. I can't stress enough how important it is to keep your sites backed up. Now, there's all sorts of plugins to help you back up your sites. There's in cPanel, there's backup options. If you have access to WHM, there's backup options. There's tons of them. But V3's backups, guys, are just simply fantastic. Okay. Once again, obviously I have a lot of sites. I'm going to look at my affiliate sites. Okay. You can tag so that it only loads your affiliate sites. Or your AdSense sites or whatever. You can tag things once again just so you can work quickly. With our backups, guys, the basic way it works is we can store backups in a variety of different services. Okay, so I'm going to go to settings. Here's how you set up backups. You go to settings and you go to backup settings. You can back up stuff if you have a Dropbox account, if you have an Amazon S3 account, if you just want to do normal FTP, meaning right to your server. OneDrive, Google Drive, we have a bunch of different options for you guys to be able to store your backups, right? So mine's Dropbox. I use Dropbox for a lot of shit, so I connect Dropbox, okay? It has instructions and everything on how to connect all these accounts. Once the accounts are connected, okay, and your API keys are in, you can start creating backups, okay? So I'm going to go back to my affiliate sites. Maybe it was an AdSense sites. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But once it's connected, you simply choose the sites that you want to back up. Okay. Where are you going to back it up? We're going to do Dropbox and choose your backup schedule: daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. Okay. One more feature. Okay. So once you do that, you click Create a Backup, and now it's scheduling. It will back up your site on whatever schedule you choose to whatever storage method you choose. Okay. So I'm going to view the backups for Try Skinny Pills. Okay, and there's my backups. Now, the nice thing about this, guys, if you ever have your site hacked, which has happened to me with my Bitcoin site just last week, I tried to restore that site from cPanel and it failed. I tried to restore it from, I had our coding team actually doing this, from WHM, and for some reason it failed, and we're like, shit, I just lost one of my most important sites, but I forgot that I had it backed up in V3. So we came here and we simply clicked restore. What that does is it rewrites all your files on your server. It restores that backup. I clicked one button, my site was saved because of V3, where WHM and cPanel for some reason failed. And I'll tell you this, guys, if you've ever tried to do a cPanel backup, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It kind of sucks, to be honest. You can also download your backups even though they're already saved. So that's how you restore your backups. The other feature that's going to get built into this, guys, is being able to select the number of backups that you want to choose. Right now, it just keeps saving backups. Okay. Let's just go to how to make. There we go. How to make money with Bitcoin. I'm going to view the backups. Okay. And you can see I have a whole bunch of backups. I don't need 11 backups. I'm going to put this on a schedule and say, back it up daily and save 7 copies. And so what it'll do is delete the last copy. Okay. So that's backups. The backups, guys, are hugely important for security of your network, because it's not a matter of if your site is going to get broken or hacked or something. It's a matter of when. It's just something that happens to everybody. Okay, and it really sucks if you don't have a backup and you can't back up your site. You can't restore a backup. It just really sucks. So I know a lot of, even myself, like you guys can see how many sites I didn't have on backup. So a lot of people don't take the time to do this, but it's just such an important thing to do, especially on sites that are making you money, or client sites, or things that are just, they're responsible for your paycheck. I just implore you guys to keep those backed up so that you have your sites very secure. The last thing I want to cover, guys, that's backups for security. So the last thing for today that I want to cover is sub-accounts. A lot of people didn't know we had sub-accounts. Okay, right here, if you go to your settings, okay, you can see sub-accounts. And now, what are sub-accounts for? Sub-accounts are for if you guys have like a VA or someone who works with you that you would like to access your V3 account, but you don't want to give them access to everything, right? You want to be choosy with what they can see and what they can access. So what you would do is create a sub-account, okay? And I'll just show you this one instead of creating a new one. So you can see this is TM Playo, an example sub-account. So I created a sub-account for my VA. And then what I do is, okay, the first thing is what websites do you want this VA to be able to do anything on, right? So for me, it was like, oh, I want him to work on my PBNs. So what I do is I select my PBN tag, right? And you can also search, okay, PBN. I select it. That'll load all the PBNs into this box, and then I can just move them over into this box. This is the active sites that your VA will be able to work on. So once you have the sites that you want your VA to be able to see, then you're like, okay, what features do I want to hide from that person? I don't want him seeing my license. I don't want him to be able to download plugins. I don't want him messing around in my settings. I don't want him to build schema. He doesn't really need to see rank tracking. Fine, he can see rank tracking. And I don't want him touching backups. Okay, that's all my shit. But he can do everything else. So when the click save changes, okay, let me show you what a sub account looks like. Okay, so I'm going to log out of my account. Oh yeah, log out button's over here now. And we're going to log into this sub account. So just take a good look, guys. Here's the dashboard or the websites. Okay, this is my actual account where I can do all my administration of sites. Okay, I have all the options. I have 179 websites. Now I'm going to log out. I'm going to log into my VA's account. See how much stuff disappeared on the menu there, guys? I put rank tracker back there, but notice if I go to websites now, okay, boom, it automatically filtered out all those websites. He's not able to see any of my money sites. He's only able to see the sites I'm giving him access to, and he's only able to perform features that I allow him to perform. So that's a way for you guys to give access to your network to VAs or anybody that works on your PBN and shit like that. So sub-accounts is pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. And that's all I'm going to cover for today, guys. Today was all about, once again, let me just throw this up here just to show you guys what we covered today. And that took me an hour and 12 minutes just to cover Webby 1. PBN and WordPress management and security. That's how you can use V3 to do everything. Keep your sites clean, keep your sites secure, give access to your sites to VAs, how to get notified of things, how to tag and filter things. All this shit is what we covered today. And that's really it for the webinar. So let's get into some questions. First of all, before I get into questions, guys, that is the management side of Project Supremacy, okay? Just your thoughts. Give me, out of 1 to 10, what you guys think of that. 10 obviously being the best, 1 being it sucks. Let's just hear some. And that's just the PBN management. Okay, cool. Craig forgot how powerful this is. Dorenda's mind is blown. Kevin, 9.7. Christopher, 9. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Always room for improvement. I like that, Bruce. Yes. There will be improvement. There will definitely be improvement. But that's just the management side of things, guys. Okay, so let's get into some questions. Ed, I have close to 100 clients. Can I get access to unlimited sub-accounts? Ed, I think you're assuming that what you would like to do is create a sub-account for each client so that they can log into this, but the truth behind that is you can manage one WordPress site very easily by logging into the WordPress site, right? There would be no need for the management features of V3 if all we were doing is managing a single site. So I don't know why you would want to give them that access, but to answer your question, if you do, we are going to be releasing packages where you can, we're going to, obviously part of the package that you buy is going to have sub-accounts included. I can't remember how many it is, how many sub-accounts. I think it was like 5 or 10 sub-accounts to start with. I can't remember, don't quote me on that. but we're also going to have a store being added where you could buy different elements. Like if you wanted to buy an additional 20 sub accounts, you could do that or whatever. We're just not sure on the pricing of that yet. So we'll create a nice big fat sub account package, and it'll be a one-time cost for sub accounts. Fred, which video we'll talk about schema? Video, webinar 3. Natalie, is there any chance that the other sites like Local Supremacy could have sub accounts? That's a different product, Natalie. I'm only talking about V3 today. Will there be a replay for the webinars? Yeah, guys, the webinar replays are going to be on V3. Let me bring up a note. Whoa, 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 oh Jesus. Okay? Replays for all webinars, guys, are going to be v3.projectsupremacy.com. I think that's a suiting URL for this. Okay? Today's webinar will go up, and then tonight or tomorrow, and then tomorrow's webinar will go up, and so on forth and so forth. ETA on that store. I don't really have an ETA yet, James. We're working on it every day. Hopefully within a couple of weeks for that store. One thing about that is I see someone else asking how much V3 costs. Right now, guys, V3 is not for sale. Well, it is for you guys because you're on the webinar, and we're, like I said at first in the webinar, we're releasing it very, very slowly in stages, okay? And V3 got to this stage now where I feel like it's very, very secure, where we're willing to run these webinars. So it will be for sale during this next week. And what we're going to do is we're going to offer you guys, being that you're all Project Supremacy members and Supremacy members, we're going to offer the big package. You guys know that we always offer you guys the big badass package that you literally can't buy it when it goes for sale for real, okay, just to like the public market. There'll be like 3 package options, like a, you know, a light and a medium and a heavy user or whatever, or stuff like that. But the deal that we're going to give you guys for the next like week, for the next intake, is going to be a big badass package that has tons of sites, tons of sub accounts. I haven't covered like rank tracking, but you'll be able to track keywords. You'll be able to do keyword research, and that'll be covered tomorrow. You guys will get like the big, massive value package offered to you guys. And I'll give you guys the purchase link for that as well. It will be on the replay page as well, but I'll go over it with you right now, since you're asking. v3.projectsupremacy/premiere. Okay. So the replay page will have a button on it eventually, guys, that will lead to this page. Okay, and these are the plans that we're going to offer you guys right now. So for the next 6 days and 12 hours, we're going to have this open again during this week of Webbies. We're going to have 2 plans. Project Supremacy is a recurring product, guys, because we have a ton of API keys. We have a ton of servers. There's a ton of infrastructure that goes into running costs. So they are both recurring plans. But we have an annual plan for $697 today, and then $397 per year. Okay, that'll allow you to manage up to 500 sites. It'll allow you to track up to 800 keywords. It'll allow you to do keyword research for another 800 keywords. And you'll get the full schema.org builder. Now, some people might be shitting their pants right now and thinking, what the fuck, man, that's crazy expensive. But if you guys really look at what's going on here, 800 keywords cost $60 a month at ProRank Tracker. Just to track 800 keywords alone is $60 a month. 60 times 12 is $720, okay, for that same plan at ProRank Tracker. You guys, for the annual plan, get the WordPress management plus all the shit that you haven't even seen yet for $697 today, and then $397 per year. If that's too crazy for you guys, you can get the exact same package on a monthly plan. Okay, $397 the first month, and then $47 per month. Okay, 500 sites, 800 keywords, 800 metrics, and a full schema.org builder. I don't have the answer yet on how many sub accounts that are in there. I'll probably make it like for you guys, I'll probably do like 20 sub accounts right off the bat, okay? Which is more than you should ever need. we'll make it 20 sub accounts for you guys. I'll add that in there. The packages though, guys, like I said, these are big and they're expensive, but the value's there. No one's going to get this value offer anywhere else. Okay, like when it goes for sale, it'll be like managing 10 sites and managing. I think our big package is going to be like managing 250 sites, and those are going to be like 127 a month. Just to give you guys an idea, if you think this looks expensive, if you wait the actual plan, the value's nowhere near as good as what we do for you guys, obviously. The other thing that we're going to have coming, guys, if you do want to wait, okay, is that store is going to open up. So what the store will do is it'll allow you to get Project Supremacy. We're going to have a free trial of 5 sites where you can manage 5 WordPress sites, but you won't get any of the other features like backups and shit like that and all that cool stuff. But you can buy things in a store by how much you need. So for instance, I only want to buy the ability to manage 10 sites, and I only want to track 20 keywords, and I only want, you know, to do keyword research for 50 keywords a month. You guys will be able to do in like an a la carte sort of thing if you want to wait. That is coming. I just don't have a timeline on it. I think it's going to be at least 4 weeks, I want to say, before that store is ready, but it is coming. So, however, guys, these 2 plans are going to be for the future thinkers. I want it now. I want the best, you know, shit with the most value. And that link, guys, is v3.projectsupremacy/premier. I'll put that link up there too. Oh, I guess I'll drop the link too. Sorry. Oh, Todd already did. Perfect. Okay. Robert, have a potential client on Flywheel. What issues are there with managed servers with a non-cPanel management scheme? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Maybe Todd does, but I do know that if you're running on WordPress, you should be fine.
Yeah, WordPress is the only requirement.
Yeah, this is a WordPress management software, guys, so it won't work on like Shopify. That's probably something we'll work on eventually, but it's like it's not going to work on Magento or any others. It's WordPress only. What about Project Supremacy v3 for AMP websites? AMP's just a plugin, Rick. You just need to add AMP. Like you guys saw in that plugin, I had AMP in there. Okay, guys, I'm only going to answer questions about v3. I see a lot of other kind of random questions, but this is a v3 Webby, so I'm going to kind of just do my best to stick to that. Anna, right now I go through and delete 25 backups per month, so I'd like at least 3 backups saved. Yeah, that feature's coming, Anna. The ability to choose how many backups you want to save is definitely coming. That should be out within the week. If you guys, so I know a lot of people have come in already and they have sub accounts is new, so yours is showing 0. If you guys already have an account, just send in a support ticket and ask them to put those sub accounts on your account. And what did I say, Todd? 20 for anyone that already has the account.
Yes.
Fred, will the local schema F builder ever be available? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Fred. Vincent, you might have to re-ask your question about what the local schema builder. Will it ever be available as a standalone? Oh, okay. So like you probably have already seen schema in this site. No, as far as I know right now, no. We're not gonna chop that up and make it its own product, simply because the way it's developed with v3, it's very, very what's the word? It's, you know, it's built to be pushed to WordPress sites. One thing I can say, let me log out. Yeah, log out button's over here now. We moved the log out button, guys, just so you know. Let me log back in. One thing I can say, guys, about the schema builder, I'll cover a little bit of it right now just because you're asking the question. If you load the schema builder, the first thing you're going to notice, guys, is a list of your sites, okay, as you're building schema. So it is tied into the sites that are on your v3 network. Okay, but you can still build schema You won't be able to build it as nice, but like you can still build schema here. So let me give you an example. Let me just give you an example. So like, how do I make up, how do I do Bitcoin or this Bitcoin site? I'm just going to load one of my schemas, this brand schema. Actually, let's go product instead because it's a bigger schema. Okay. If I load this schema and click render, okay, that's the schema I built. You can literally copy and paste this over to a website, right? If that's what you want to do. So that is another option that you can use for schema is just build it and then copy this and paste it. But the way V3 works is we build it so that you can literally manage your schemas. You go to the website and you assign schemas to certain pages or certain things like that. So will we ever offer this schema builder as a standalone? I don't know. I won't say no. I just won't. I'll just say not right now. Anna, how do you know what plan you have? You thought you were a lifetime with monthly. I guess look at your receipt for what you bought, Anna. Your account type will be on your drop-down as well. If you have V3, you'll know what account type you have from this drop-down. I'm an admin. Thanks, Natalie. Natalie thinks the pricing's good. Do you guys want to see, like, I know like a lot of people still think that that's expensive, but remember, guys, this is webinar 1. All I covered was WordPress management, right? So like, what's that one, Todd, that orange one, CMS Commander? This is another WordPress management software, guys. Okay, let's go to plans. Okay, all CMS Commander does is manage sites. Okay, so let's go to the 500 site plan. Because that's what you guys are getting. You're getting a if we just look at WordPress management, what you saw today, okay? Their closest thing that they have, let's go on the low side, 400 websites, is $125 a month, just for WordPress management. How much is 125 sites per month in a year, okay? Whoops, there's only 12 months in a year. Guys, that's $1,500 a year for a smaller plan with way less shit in it. Okay, so if you guys don't think the value's there, just go look at another WordPress manager and find out what it costs. And remember, that's just WordPress management. We still have keyword tracking, we still have the schema builder, we still have all the other features that I haven't covered in the next webinars, okay? The rank tracking alone is more expensive than the cost of the annual plan. The WordPress management is double the cost. So like the value's definitely there, guys. Is there an opportunity for affiliate sales on that? Yeah, coming soon, Natalie. We will open an affiliate program as well, guys. When are you launching to the public? We really want to get V3 running smooth. I honestly think we're there, to be honest. With all the that's why we're doing this webinar series, to show it to you guys again, because I really feel like with the amount of people who are in and the amount of updates that have come in and just it's at such a fantastic place. Like I use it and I send messages to Todd all the time. I'm like, dude, I love V3. Like I can't believe I ever did shit without it. So it is coming. We will be launching it. It will be soon. I just can't give you a timeline. And yes, there will be an affiliate program. Rick, no, it's not. What if we add a manual AMP website? I'm not really sure what you're asking, Rick. Can you just retype your question in full, because there's so many questions. To me, an AMP website is just a website that you'd add an AMP plugin to. Okay, so that's my understanding. But if you have a different question, then you just need to ask it in full, please. Her Todd is charter members. We do not have any sub account. Okay, yeah. Anyone that already has an account that's showing 0 subs, just submit a support ticket, guys, and we'll get you those 20. Yeah, Dominic, our first big opening of E3, we had a better package than this. And that's kind of the thing, guys. we don't bullshit anyone with these pricings, you know. We're real about it. The price is going to get more expensive. It'll turn into a monthly. I don't think we're going to have an annual, but you won't get nearly as many features, and it'll be more expensive, like $100 a month when we release. So like when we first released this, guys, we did have a bigger package at this price. You got more shit at this price, but that closed, and we closed that completely. So it's not bullshit. We will close this down again. And come back with a higher price or less features. Yeah, Paul, that's a great question, and I kind of covered that with a different question, but I'll answer it again. He said, if you have a client that doesn't have WordPress, can you still build schema for their site inside of V3? And then send it to them to install? Yes, you absolutely can. That's like this example. So for instance, I built a product schema for a product that I'm reviewing on one of my sites. So you would build the schema and then just click render schema, and there's the schema code. Okay, so if they have a non-WordPress site, rather than use V3 to like automatically send it over, you could literally just copy and paste the code. And so you could still build schema for HTML sites or any other type of site. You just build it and then copy the code and paste it over. And our builder is so badass, guys. Like, honestly, I can't wait for V3 Webby. So you can see how smoking this builder is now. Can I manage WordPress.com sites? Kevin, I don't think I've ever tested that. I can't say with 100% certainty. I don't think so, because WordPress.com sites are like, I don't know. Todd, do you know that one? Can you install plugins and shit on WordPress.com sites? I don't know. You could try it. I honestly, I don't know yet.
Yeah, it should be no problem. Yeah, no problem.
Dominic, will you still be able to turn off certain aspects of V3 like schema or SEO titles? Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to turn off schema because you just would not supply schema, but I'll give you examples. Okay, so we'll go back to the Bitcoin site, for instance, how to make money with Bitcoin. So we'll go into the website manager, okay, and then I'll go to the posts and pages, and you can see right now the two aspects that we'll be able to toggle are the SEO. So I want my H1, my title, my H1 and shit like that, I want that to be controlled by Project Supremacy. Not Yoast, not all-in-one SEO pack, not Platinum. I don't want that shit running on my sites anymore. I want V3. But I can turn it on or off per page. And same thing with schema. Here's schema. Okay. If I go to per page schema and select a certain page, I can choose whether to apply schema to it or not. Right. So like USI Tech Review, I have that product and video schema on that page. But if I didn't want it, I would just drag the schema back off. So yes. For anyone that's, okay, so V2 users, okay, so I see a lot of V2 questions. I didn't cover this, but I will. If you install V3, guys, it will recognize that you have V2 already installed, okay? So one thing you're gonna wanna do if you like V3 is go to, in your WordPress blog, log in, go to your dashboard and go to migration. And I don't have V2 installed anymore, so it's not showing it. But if you have V2 installed, it'll have different settings that you can migrate stuff. So it'll say migrate your SEO settings, migrate your schemas, migrate your projects, migrate. It'll give you all the things from V2 that you want to migrate to V3, and you just click yes, 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 and click migrate, and it will pull everything from V2 into V3 for you with one click, just like that. We also have migration settings for Yoast and all-in-one SEO pack. Could I restate what I have for cPanel, Jim? For cPanel, we just have the ability to one-click login to cPanel if you want. Okay, that would be like if I tag these sites, affiliate. I do it a lot with my affiliate sites. Okay, if you supply your cPanel access in the, like if I go to manage website and I supply my access, I'm gonna have to hide my passwords now. I'll have to get that fixed. You'll be able to one-click access cPanel. Okay, it'll show up in the tags or in your. Let me show you. It'll show up in the website manager as a cPanel login, and obviously that's a feature that I have to hide the passwords. If you started a monthly plan, can you upgrade later to the annual plan and retain the same functionalities? No, no, because they're just built on different pricings. You know what I mean? Yeah, for these two, you have to choose the one you want. I mean, because one thing you wouldn't want to do, guys, is like say buy the monthly plan and then use it for 2 months or 1 month and then say, okay, I want the annual, and then you got to pay. Like, it just wouldn't work because we have the initiation fee built in so that Todd and I are recovering costs and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just going to say no for now. We will have the store though, KS10, where you can, if there's certain things you want. Guys, honestly, the annual plan is the way to go. Okay, like if you look at that, if you want to know the difference between the annual and the monthly, you have to break it down like this. The monthly plan is $397 for the first month, and then 11 payments of $47. If that'll get you your first year cost, okay? So the first year will be 11 payments of $47, which is $517, plus the first month, which is $397. Okay, that's $914 for your first year versus $697 for your first year with the annual plan. Then the annual plan drops to $397 per year, paid once a year, whereas the monthly plan is 47 times 12 per year. It's $564 per year. So there's so much more value in the annual plan. But we obviously know that not everybody's going to cough up $700, so you can go with the monthly plan. Christopher wants us to keep Schema exclusive to V3, I think. Christopher, can you access our Schema and other data programmatically from other systems? No, we don't have APIs coming into our system. Yeah, Bruce. If you're one of those guys, I only have 6 sites. I don't need to manage 500 sites right now. This package is way too big for me. I totally get that, Bruce. What you should do is just wait until we release the smaller packages. Even though you won't get the value that you're getting here, it'll be a package that suits where you're at a lot better. We're also going to have the store. So like, for instance, I think what we're going to do eventually, guys, is have a really small free, like 1 site for free or something like that. You can manage 1 site for free, which is stupid. Really, the 1 site management thing is just to show you the product. And then there'll be a store, and you can select, okay, I want to buy 20 sites of management. I want to buy 30 keyword trackings, and I want to buy 2 sub accounts. And you can put all that together, and then it'll be 1 monthly package, and that's coming. It's just, it takes a lot to code that, guys. We actually we're custom coding our own shopping cart right now because none of the, like JVZoo doesn't have it and ThriveCart doesn't have it, and all these Zaxa and all these other shopping carts can't do what we want to do. So we're actually building our own shopping cart too, which is crazy. Rick, our plugin has a few disabilities, such as we don't have enough control over the theme and the components we want to add to the AMP website. But it does carry the schema over to the AMP website. However, we have found it is better to create the AMP website manually to achieve a better result with the AMP website, but it is... Rick, you might need to hit me up on Facebook or something, man, because like I think you and I are having a completely disconnected view of what AMP is. So yeah, I'm honestly, I thank you for being more detailed with your question, but I still am I'm having a disconnect with what's going on. AMP to me is just adding a plugin, and it amps the site. Anyone that needs to open a support ticket, Okay, that's your support ticket URL. Robert, this is not expensive at all. The second year annual offer is less than my founder's continuing monthly. Yeah, it's a far better deal. The annual is definitely the better deal. Does V3 have any client reporting features or maintenance done on the sites? No, nothing like that, Fred. That's, I mean, there's logs, I guess, would be my answer. Like, you know, but no, nothing. I mean, so reporting on sites for now, I would just say to keep track of what you're doing and just write it down. We don't have anything like I updated 6 plugins and, you know, your core and nothing like that. How much will t-shirts be? Yeah, Rick, hit me up on Facebook because yeah, I don't even know what an AMP website is, so yeah, it might be bigger than I realized, which is cool, but I mean, our AMP plugin that we developed, guys, like it's not at all our first focus, you know what I mean? We obviously went into the Cert Tech and local supremacy side of things, and then sold and supported that for a while. And then I personally have turned my focus back to V3 just hardcore over the last little while because it's such an incredible piece of software and we just need everyone to see that. Guys, any more questions at all? We still have like 100 people on the webinar, so. Cedric, upload all plugins and themes at once is great, but I still need to insert my plugin or theme key inside of each site. Is that right for the plugin too? Okay, so what you're talking about, Cedric, is if you have a plugin that does require a key to activate, and yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Unfortunately, like we will save you time in being able to upload that plugin to 100 sites with one click versus logging into 100 sites. But when it comes to you know, having to log into the site and adding your key, that's just, we can't control that because we don't have access to that plugin settings feature. And for us to be able to build into V3 the ability to manage the settings of each individual plugin, there's millions of plugins out there with settings, guys. We would have to do it one by one to every single plugin on the market, and that's just not a realistic plan at all. I mean, there will be some for obvious like plugins that we support and build, especially because if we don't build it, we don't have access to the code. If they change anything, we have to go in and be a constant cat and mouse game for us to do that. So we will, like I said, the nice thing, if you know, Cedric, tag your sites, okay? If you have like a certain affiliate site or PBN site that you want to add a certain plugin to, tag it, filter it, upload your plugin, and then come here and just start hitting manage website one at a time. It's quick access, log into your site, copy and paste in your key, execute. It's still faster. I did it with Spider Spanker, and it's way, way faster using that V3 methodology. Walt, any issues with iTheme Security Pro and the auto installer? If there is any issues, and I don't know what iTheme Security Pro is, to be honest, but if there is any security issues, typically if it's a security plugin, go to Dashboard once the plugin's installed, go to troubleshooting and select use alternative API endpoint. Start with Thrive Architect. I haven't even downloaded Thrive Architect yet. Any notification if the plugins or themes in the repository are up to date? Yep. I think there was an update function if you downloaded in the repository. Where is it? My plugins. I think it happens automatically that if you download a plugin, I can't remember this, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure, I'll check for next webinar. But if you download a plugin from WordPress repository into here and an update comes out, it will update inside of here automatically. I swear I remember that being built in. Somebody asking that. Anna, if you already purchased V3, like a founder's package, no, you got the better offer than what's out there today. The founder was our first actual opening where we sold all features. And you would have gotten more, same price, but you would have just got more features. Is there a key tool box under settings? A key tool? Dominic, I'm not sure what you mean by a key tool box. Rick, hit me up on Facebook, man. I can't have this conversation here about what's going on. Just hit me up on Facebook. Can you clone websites using V3? No. Oh, Dominic, yeah, API keys. Yes, right here, API keys. Now I can't show this because it has all my actual API keys, but yeah, any API keys that you need. So things like the toggle, Google's page speed, analytics, all that shit is all in API keys here. iWriter, Amazon, there's a whole bunch of API keys. And that's all stored in here. That's the nice thing too, guys, about the API keys being over here. Once you put in your API keys, your plugin will read your API keys on your website side so that you don't, like with V2 it kind of sucked because when you install the plugin, you had to insert your API keys again and again and again and again, and it really just sucked. Just slow. With V3 though, you would put your API keys in on your dashboard, and as soon as you install your plugin, it reads the API. Oh, I see, Dominic. You're saying API keys for other plugins. We can't do that, Dominic, just because, like I said, there's literally probably 10,000 plugins out there that have API keys, right? Like, we'll look at it, but I mean, there's just no way we can have like 10,000 support for 10,000 other API keys, right? Kath, can we stop automatic theme and or WP updates from happening? If yes, how? I have a theme that needs to wait a while after WP updates to give time for theme developers. That's not really a V3 question. We don't have a function in V3 to stop auto updates in WordPress. That would just be a WordPress setting, Kath, and I would just Google that, how to stop auto updates in WordPress. That's kind of more like just a quick Google search will help you with that. Could you make API keys for other plugins as a paid service per plugin? No, Bruce, because it's still custom coding. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you have a plugin that uses an API key that you just, oh please, build API support for this plugin. But there's probably 100 other people who have 1,000 other plugins that want the same thing, and it would just be a never-ending battle, right? Because in order for us to API key into those plugins, first of all, that plugin, their code needs to have, they need to code it so that we can, send an API key into it. They need to receive it. Todd could probably explain it better than I can, but it's a cat and mouse game. A never-ending income stream for us, but also a never-ending supply of work, Bruce. It's just not something, it's just, yeah. The thing is, guys, we give you the ability, if you have a favorite plugin or a favorite theme, to bulk out upload it or quickly upload it to any of your sites. But as far as that plugin and its features and its connections, there's just really nothing we can do about that unless we're the developer of the plugin. So say, for instance, Spider-Spanker or App Supremacy or something like that, right? We control that code. We can make them talk to each other. Any chance of it for your plugins, local Supremacy, SerpTech, Spider-Spanker? Yeah, eventually, James, we will. Eventually, we'll build in. I guess it would just be settings for our plugins. Once we upload, like say you have Spider-Spanker, you'd be able to go to your website and manage the settings for Spider-Spanker inside of V3. Eventually, we will do that. How do you delete a plugin from the V3 list for auto install? Okay, there's I'm not sure what you mean, Dominic, for auto install. We don't auto install anything. You have to install stuff yourself. If you don't want to install it, just don't select it. I'm not sure if that answered your question. No, Kath, I don't. Well, we're almost at 2 hours here, guys. Any more V3 questions? Thanks, George. Come on the next webinars because we're going to cover tomorrow, guys. What we're going to cover is this right here in big time. It's more of the plugin side, so the SEO settings for the plugin, but more specifically, this right here, the project manager, in great detail, and all the updates and features that have come into this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to set these up and why they're so damn important, and how effective they are going to be at helping you guys rank for a ton of keywords really, really quickly. So it's going to be more the SEO side of things. So we'll cover SEO settings, projects, the project manager. I'll dive into this. I'll build projects for you guys and show you how to do research and shit like that really quickly on this. It'll be all about that. We'll go over the affiliate products things. That'll be all tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be SEO focused, guys. You're going to learn a lot about optimization of websites using V3. Christopher, the login for V3 is V3 app.projectsupremacy.com to log into V3. app.projectsupremacy.com. What is the best use of V2 if you also have V3? Some people still like the simplicity of the schema editor of V2 better. Also, there's geotagging and images with V2 that I don't believe is built into V3 yet. To me now, guys, V2 is basically it's like a light version, especially for the schema of V3. The other thing with V2 that happened, guys, which kind of really sucks, this project planner, we used to be able to scrape broad phrase and title in URL from our own server's resources, and then Google kind of caught on to that. So we had to use, remember we built in API keys to like services like Death by CAPTCHA and 2CAPTCHA, so that we could bypass our services and use CAPTCHA service solving for those. And then Google caught on to that and killed those. So this, the broad phrase in title and in URL of V2 no longer works, and it's not something that we can fix because Google's just onto that. But this, guys, is now on our side. Todd has a huge list of proxies that this happens internally now that we scrape these competition metrics. So this is part of our ongoing cost. We have to pay a lot of money to keep that service and keep those proxies going. And it also allows us to bypass what we had for V2. So that, I mean, V2 is now like a lighter version of what V3 is. V3 is just, remember, V3, guys, we brought everything central. We took everything off your server and put it on ours so that we could run it bigger, better, faster, and lighter. V3 plugin is also a hell of a lot lighter than the V2 plugin. V2 plugin size is probably like 20 times as big as V3 is. V3 is really small and light because really everything happens over on this side, and all the databases and storage happen on the app side, whereas the plugin just reads what's going on at the app and supplies the connection, so it's really light and fast. Schema is better on V3. Yeah, V2 is like basically the you know, the most common types of schemas like local business and you know, organization and brand, like the more common shit. Whereas V3 schema is it's probably about 95% of the entire schema.org database. I'm not going to cut, like, this is the list of schemas that we have in V3 that you're able to add, and I'll just scroll through it. Okay, you can see it's freaking massive. Okay, it's massive. Can you still get the 5-star ratings to show up using V3? Yes, you can. Let's do Bitcoin investing. That's a V3 schema right there, and that's actual reviews. That's the other thing about this, guys. Rating is 4.7 with 29 votes. If we go to this page, okay, you can see the rating is 4.7 from 29 votes. It's actually real schema, and the reviews are all here. So we show them, and I'm going to cover this in tons of detail tomorrow, or on webinar 3, so Wednesday. In the early days, I suggested keeping Yoast. I never suggested keeping it. I just suggested not deleting it until you were sure V2 was performing the way you wanted to. I don't use Yoast, Christopher. I only use V3. I've downgraded on so many plugins because of V3 now. Downgraded the amount of plugins I use, I should say. I just use V3 for schema, for SEO, for rank tracking, and stuff like that. I use V3. How did I do that on the back end? That's what I'm going to cover, Tony, on Wednesday. Wednesday, basically, guys, tomorrow we're going to cover SEO, this stuff, the project planner, how to do project planning, keyword research, rank tracking, how to properly optimize every single page on your site for all these keywords and shit like that. We're going to cover this in detail tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we're going to cover schema, okay? How to use this, how to build schema, how to, you know, send schema to your site, how to get this box to show up so that you're getting star ratings, how to get rich snippets, stuff like that. Is there a difference between service versus content reviews? There's a difference between what you're reviewing, Kath, and that's kind of something I'll cover tomorrow in Schema. Schema allows you to review different things, right? You can have a review of a product, or you can have a review of a website, or you can have a review of a person or a recipe or a song, right? But you need to set up the type, the thing that you're reviewing, and then set up the review to be able to review it. So that'll be covered. And yes, you can do it on a per page basis. Absolutely. And you should. No problem, Nat. Thanks, Chris. All right, guys, last opportunity for questions here. My throat's getting a little sore. I haven't even drank any water yet. You guys kept hearing me burping up and shit like that during the webinar. Any last questions? Replays will be up either tonight or tomorrow. I do have to edit this replay because I noticed I showed some API keys, and we're going to cut out the intro and shit like that. So anytime I have to edit a Webby, guys, it takes a lot longer to get it uploaded. So it'll either be tonight or tomorrow morning. All replays, guys, though, will be on this site, though, v3.projectsupremacy.com. Here it is. Okay. For Webbies. Right now, obviously, the videos aren't going to work. I've seen people say, hey, man, the videos don't work, but it's like, come on, man, it says November 2nd, but whatever. They'll come up when they're up. That's where you get that. If you guys do want to purchase right now, this will be open for the next week. That will be, let me put that link up there, /premiere. Okay, and then I have to make it a little smaller because it's not fitty. Maybe a 20. V3, not B3. Okay, there's where you get V3. If you need any support, okay, there's that, supremacy.freshdesk.com. This is where you get V3. Also, the replay will have a link to buy it if you guys want to buy it. Remember, as well, guys, that it may look expensive, okay, but just remember, I've only shown you the WordPress management side of things. CMS Commander on its own is twice the price just for WordPress management. Schema.org will tell you this right now. Our main competition for building Schema, which I'll cover on Wednesday, is $299 a month to build Schema on unlimited sites. $299 a month, and I'll tell you right now, our Schema builder compares with theirs like big time. I love ours. So the values there, it may seem expensive, but it's, if you were to buy all these tools on their own, you'd be in the thousands of dollars per month. So because you guys are V3 members, get the annual plan, the $697 year one, and then you're down to $397 per year after that. It's just a killer deal. Yeah, exactly, Bruce. Just one good new client, and that takes care of the whole year. I manage, guys, the reason you guys see so many of my sites, you know how some people do sales videos and they're showing it and they got these like rinky-dink sites on there that they're displaying? You guys aren't seeing rinky-dink sites. This is my PBN. These are my money sites. I'm showing you my account that I use every day. So, I mean, I use and love V3. I should show you the conversation between me and Todd on Skype where I'm like, dude, I don't know how I ever did this without V3. I fucking love V3 so much. Like, it's so fast. And it happens because I keep posting on my wall, Herc Magnus wall, another V3 win. It's just everyday things that happen, like having my Bitcoin site hacked the other day, and then having that one website go down the other day where the registrar didn't even tell me that the website was, you know, down or whatever, and V3 was saving the day. So, I mean, I'm not showing you guys examples. I'm showing you guys my shit that I actually use because I use it and I love it. And I think you will too. I really do. It is a tax-deductible expense. Kath, you'll have to message Todd and ask him that. Yes, that's why if you guys try to access any of these sites and you can't see it, that's Spider Spanker at work. Obviously, I made sure everything was up to date with Spider Spanker before this webinar. I don't want you guys sniffing around too much on my sites, but you can see what they are. Todd, any comments, any last questions? Spider Spanker. Oh, for anyone that wants Spider Spanker, SPYDER, SPANKER.com. This is Spider Spanker. Make sure you spell spider with a Y. This is what I use. That's PBN safety plugin. It's also recommended in Matt's PBN course as well as a must-have. Okay, guys, any last questions on WP management or V3 for today? I think that's going to be it then.
Yep.
Yeah, that does it. Thanks for coming on, everybody.
We'll be back again tomorrow.
Yeah, what are we doing tomorrow? SEO Webby tomorrow. You guys are going to love this one. You guys are going to love the Project Planner. The Project Planner is probably one of my favorite features of V3, to be honest. It's so fast. It's awesome.
It's powerful.
You guys are going to be, yeah, it's super powerful. Okay.
Okay, have a good evening, guys. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.